Hello.
Hello.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to A Couple of Sassholes podcast. I'm Brooklyn Johnson.
And I'm Heather Terry.
And for anyone, if this is your first time, just know it's our power hour of true crime where we talk about fucked up people doing fucked up shit, usually for fucked up reasons or sometimes for no reasons at all.
That's right.
And we're going to do the same shit today.
Yeah, let's do it. I think we should.
I think we should too.
Okay, I really want to, I'm loving this look because I always look cash because that's me. And
Yes.
you pull this off. She's like, I didn't feel like being cute. I'm like, that is cute as fuck. And you don't even have shoes on. Let's talk about why you don't have shoes on.
So I was in Florida. Well, I was stuck being cash because I just can't wear appropriate footwear right now because I was in Florida for the weekend. Well, who fucking cares how long I was there? And
5 days, not that I was counting. 5 days.
And we camped and we moved our RV to a different spot because we didn't have it for the length of our stay. I fucking am wearing Birkenstocks. I want you to know that for the type of the shoe, not because I'm trying to do a fucking call out of the shoe. And I like take a few steps over by the camper and I'm like, my feet hurt. And it was like so slow to process that my feet hurt. And I was like, it kind of feels like they're burning. And then it was like hard pain. And so I like pull my shoe off and there's a big ass like ant biting me. And I like had to hit it twice to like get it off. Mm-hmm. Well, there's always more than one. And so it was like they were underneath the straps of my Birkenstocks on the top part of your foot. And I was just, I can't even say annihilated because there's probably only like 4 or 5 bites. Like one on one foot and like 4 on the other. But they're pretty aggressive.
They look like nipples. Like bruised nipples.
They like kind of turn into like a little bit of they turn into a blister.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know it was. Luckily, it was like Sunday and we were leaving the next day whenever it happened. And it happened in the morning. But my sister was like, oh, you must have been bit by fire ants. And I was like, even though I saw that I got bit by a fucking ant, I still didn't process it was a fucking fire ant. Or that there would be any outcome after. Like, I was like, yeah, I got bit. That sucked. That hurt for a second. Then put on some Hey Dudes. Acted like nothing happened. I fucking woke up on Monday morning. My feet were swollen and hot and hard and they itched like nothing has ever itched in my life. The one thing I will say, it's a super satisfying scratch.
Oh, yeah. When we were at
the gym. It's a good scratch.
We were at the gym when you got back. You literally waved at me across the gym and like ran. And I was like, she must have to pee real bad. And then I go in there and she was scratching her feet with like both hands. And some girl walked in. And of course, of all the lockers in there, you were sitting right in front of hers. And you're like, she's like, I'm sorry. And that girl's like, it's fine.
Like, I don't know if for people who don't know this, like when your blood circulation's going through your body, like if you have a lot of mosquito bites on your legs and then you go for a run, it circulates the itch factor. And so I was like, oh yeah, I did upper body because I didn't want to fuck with my like lower body for my feet. But I was like, oh, I'll just walk on the treadmill up some at an incline. And I swear to you, I made it about 3 minutes before my entire being was itching. And yes, I 100% was like, I'm going into and I was like ripping my shoes off. And you can't like openly scratch because that's how I think I got one of them infected is because it popped. It like pops whatever is on the wound and like you have to just get around. Man,
the ant juice.
Yes, it's some kind of acid that's in there.
Antacid. Do you guys break up with me now? Are you gonna
tell me that you have heartburn without telling me that you have heartburn? Because I would have never thought of that. Because luckily I do not get heartburn.
I love that through the window and a closed door, we hear producer Jess go, oh, my, like you can probably hear it in the background.
Right? I hope they can.
Whatever. I had to.
I'm mending, but now I'm bruised. I guess from scratching too hard. But
your ego and your foot are both bruised because all you're doing is just walking.
Lesson learned. I was like, I wore those Birkenstocks the whole time. The whole fucking time, especially with the beach. I wasn't like throwing on socks and sneakers. And I'm like, I will never step foot at a campground without like Hey Dudes on.
Oh, man.
Lesson learned. Because fuck that.
You're like, I'm going to go pee. And then you just put on hiking boots and you're like, no chances.
Right? Well, and there were like cottonmouths. And there's a lot there. There's a lot. Man. There's a lot of. I tried like because I'm a hamper. I'm a hamper.
You
throw dirty
you are
clothes
a laundry basket of delight.
A fucking wild laundry.
You said.
I'm a camper and I'm an outdoors woman. And yes. I constantly want to be like confident and okay.
And capable.
And capable and things that are happening. So fucking A, I have never been concerned about fire ants. I was like, I don't need more fears activated. There's already so many triggers that are firing in my head to not get eaten by an animal or axed to death by a murderer. So I'm like, fucking A. One more thing to add.
One more thing.
But I made it back. Here I am, and I still have 2 feet.
I'm so glad you're back. Welcome back. She was like, I don't know how long I was gone. I was like 5 days, 4 hours.
It didn't feel very long.
To you.
Right.
To me, I was like
vacationing.
sitting around singing in the arms of an angel, just holding your photo.
I believe it.
No.
While you were at my house?
Yes, while I watched your dog and had a small get together at your home.
Yes.
It was very fun. You know what else?
Yes,
is
because
fun?
that's what Heather did.
You know what else is fun?
What'd you do?
I have a surprise for you. She loves this. We're going to bring in a special guest today. Producer Jess is coming in. Can you please move your water bottle? We want everyone to meet her, first of all.
This is exciting.
We need everyone to meet her. We talk to her through this little window over here, and she watches us.
This is our sweet angel.
This is our
person.
This is producer Jess. Now, she's very quiet. She's very tall, and she's in the shrubs.
You said straps.
No, not the straps. She's in the shrubs. And so Jess was one of the people who attended my soiree at Brooklyn's house, right? So
Once more that I am not here for.
Jess has a teenage daughter. Jess's teenage daughter called. She was on speakerphone, and she said a word, and I don't understand any of the words that kids say. I'm not a mom. I don't get it. Jess was laughing because I thought she said, what did I say? Skin my knee?
Yeah.
And it's called
Skibbity. Yeah.
which means what?
What does skibbity mean?
Yes.
It depends on the context.
All night I was saying, skin my knee. And Jess thought it was funny. And I was like, well, I don't understand. So we decided she made us a list of youthful words because Jess keeps us young. And Brooklyn and I are going to try
to figure
out what the fuck this is. So skin my knee. No.
So skibbity means...
It's basically like saying fuck, kind of, right? Like fuck can be used in different contexts, but not.
Yeah, and it depends. Like, if they say skibbity toilet...
Which is so dumb.
Skibbity toilet, that's like no good. That's like bad. Yeah,
So you can't just say bad. You have to say skin my knee in the toilet. That's what I kept saying. Okay, but so she made a list, and we're gonna have Brooklyn read them because that's my favorite thing is to make Brooklyn read stuff.
Okay. Oh God.
Okay.
I'm already hating them. Okay.
I haven't looked at that
Skibbity,
either.
I didn't even think that that's how you spelled it.
Yeah,
So that's interesting. Riz, I've heard that a lot.
I don't know what that means. It's like
fleek. Is it like back in the day on fleek?
and that means like how do we say like cool?
That's what I'm saying. Fleek was
charisma.
Yeah.
Oh,
Riz.
So then I am not
is
right.
charisma.
The Riz
Charisma.
Oh.
Like he's got good riz. She's got good riz.
Now the light bulb just turned on. I've seen that for like a year, and I was like, I'm cool.
I did not know that.
I was over there tucking my AARP card in my purse, like I don't know what this means.
to. What is that? Guyot?
How do you say it?
Giat?
How?
You say it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Is that it?
You know what it is?
No, I didn't even know how to say it.
GYAT.
Oh,
Like a
curvy.
big butt.
Oh, okay.
And it's called a what?
Giat? Giat?
Is that how you say it? That sounds like an Asian dumpling.
Yeah.
Yacht.
Okay.
Like go on get.
Like got.
Go on get.
Go on get. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ew, this one makes me feel like trash.
What?
Bussin'.
What?
Bussin'.
Bussin'.
Bussin' that table over there.
That's not. That's worse than my antacid joke. Okay. Bussin' is. We have to try to guess. And I don't really know what
I
it
just
means.
did.
It's like
somebody busting you up, maybe? I don't know.
like it's popping off.
Yeah.
yeah?
Okay.
Good.
I'm so young.
You
And
are-
I'm the
you are
oldest one
fresh.
in the room.
What is mid?
What is it?
Mid.
Just like mid?
That's all
Like
I'm saying.
MID?
Yes, mid. There's just,
I haven't looked at that, so I don't know.
yeah, what's mid?
Mid.
I don't, okay.
Like, mediocre.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Like,
It's-
What is
it means eh. That means meh. It's the new meh.
We need to start saying that one.
What?
But okay, question. If you sound youthful, do you sound stupid to people your age?
I sound stupid to my daughter all the time.
Okay.
Okay. But you sound really cool to us.
Right.
guess it depends on your surroundings. I don't know.
Okay.
Because I'm not cool to her.
Oh, well, you're really cool to us.
You're cool to everyone else.
And like really hip and fresh.
Thanks.
hip. I don't think
Delulu?
that means delusional.
Yeah.
I knew that one.
Good job.
Good for you. I know a lot of Delulus.
I kind
There's a
of.
lot of Delulus out
I'm
there.
regretting this. She's
Slaps. I say that shit all the time.
You do.
I say slaps all the time.
Slaps.
Because my stepkids, that's when slap came out and they said it all the time. And I was like, I can 1000% see how
You pull that off.
you would do that. Like say what your kids are saying because you fucking hear them say it 6,000 times. It's giving ... We say that all the time.
Oh yeah. Leland. That reminds me of Leland. Our
Yes.
friend Leland. It's giving. That's what he always says.
Something.
Yeah.
Always something.
So we know that one.
Number 10 was main character, which is probably my favorite part of everything. Is like everyone being, whoever the fuck did the first meme that was like main character energy, bravo.
Yeah. That's a
Fucking
good one.
bravo.
So I'd say we got like a C.
What do you be?
Oh.
Heather would get a B.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like,
It'd be minus.
oh, you're being
Look,
so
she
sweet.
can't
It's
even-
more like a D plus,
No.
if I'm lucky.
We'll go B minus.
Okay. But you really meant like below average C. Dude, I didn't know fucking any of these.
I mean above failing.
Thank you.
Above failing. Hey, D's get degrees. That's what I told my history teacher in college.
I'm bumping these really bad.
Yeah, is there a word for bumping? Is
You
that
just said it.
I'm knocking. we're
Good to know.
we're like, this is rad, as if. No, thank you, Jess. Everyone
Thank you.
take a
Look at our
gander of Jess, producer Jess.
This was so much better than whatever else I thought you were
AKA
going to do.
Ruby Rose.
Yes.
There goes our Ruby Rose. Anyway, you're
We're
welcome
going to just start calling her that.
for that.
Now I feel like I know things
I'm
that I
so
didn't know before.
youthful and young, and I feel like that I should keep this party going. I'm just going to start saying all kinds of words that are like,
Normal.
yes. I'm going to go back. Skin my knee, toilet. Hopefully you don't think
I'm never going to. That is an inside joke that Heather thinks I was a part of
Skibbity-
because it was in my home.
No,
And she's going to say skin my knee a ton. I'm be like, I'm never going to find it funny. I wasn't there.
but it's funny in life because you've seen the word.
Yes. Yes. So funny.
Whatever. All right. I'm not going to tell you. I'm just going to tell you the sources and go. Ready? Ready? Okay. And kick it.
Yes.
Okay. Sources, oxygen.com. There is an episode 10 on season 10 of Snapped Killer Couples. There's a ton of other shows, but that had the best information that I aligned with. Article from Midland Reporter Telegram, the Plainview Herald, and then there was a bunch of court documents as well on justia.law.com. Get the fun stuff out of the way. And so I saw the Snapped episode, and then I saw a couple of other episodes of this, and then there's not even a Wikipedia on it, but I dug through and was like, I'm doing the story anyway. So,
Ooh, doing a story without a Wikipedia page. If there's ever a time that a lot of research is usually required, it is when there's no Wikipedia page.
I mean, there's not even a landing point. I was like, we're doing it. I have to.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of other ways to spin this. So whichever, like the articles that are from different perspectives, you'll get what I'm saying when I go, but I chose what I aligned with the most. So
That's how I'm going to start wording this. What aligned with me the most.
I mean, it did. That's
a great way to fucking
yeah,
say it.
it was like, I read them all and I'm like, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. That, pick your
Seems
poison.
more,
Pick
yeah.
your poison. Okay, so let's go. Tess, or Tessie, as she called in this episode, but I'm just going to say Tess for the most part, was born in rural, you know I can't say that word,
Oh my God.
in the country in Indiana.
So down the streets.
Yeah. She had a normal upbringing. Tessie got good grades. She was an athlete. She loved cheerleading, cute, popular. Her mom and stepdad have been there. They had a great relationship. When she was like a preteen, they got a divorce. And that was kind of where the wheels fell off a little bit. She was really tight with her stepdad. And then their relationship crumbled when she was around 15 and they didn't speak for a couple years. This is when she started being a little bit more rebellious. She was hanging out with a rougher and older crowd. And then basically like, fuck you, mom. Like, I do what I want. Why are you being so uptight?
Youth.
So in Tessie, instead of heading to college like she had originally planned, she wanted to move in with her older boyfriend. She was like, no, I don't want to go to school. I'm in love.
Dude, no one wants to go to school. We're required to so that we can be good robots.
Not long after that, when their relationship was falling apart, she found out she was pregnant. So her moves in with her boyfriend. Not too much long after they start fighting, she's like, oh shit, I'm gonna have a baby. By age 20, they had split up. She was a single mom. She was living on her own. She didn't want to move back in with her mom. They had kind of had a rocky relationship. So her and her infant son were out there just trying to make it. Like she was trying. She got desperate because she started cleaning houses, and then she had gotten in trouble for like check fraud. So she was like, my job opportunities are limited. So she decided
maybe she shouldn't have done the check fraud. She just thought that's such a fucking
right. Yeah.
Ugh.
She got a little desperate, she said. And when I watched a couple interviews, and she had always, like, as she got older, she started validating herself with male attention. And I'll show you a picture of her in a second. But she decided to become an exotic dancer. AKA, she told her mom she was a server.
Exactly.
And she was like, I'm a server. And her mom kept pushing her and pushing her. And she
serving them legs around that pole, girl. It's so, don't feel bad about your choices. Just fucking choose them, own them. The worst thing you can do is make a choice and then not fucking own it.
That's a picture when she was 20.
She looks like she grew up in Indiana.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't she straight up looks like a neighbor.
Yeah, she does. And she didn't love that life, but it did pay the bills. But it was just her short-term goal to get her through. She was pretty lonely, though. She was like, no, she'd only had that one serious boyfriend. And like, she's like, okay, I kind of, trying to be an adult. Then, right? She said, well, I had to grow up fast and I couldn't really date because I had a son and I was trying to pay the bills, blah, blah, blah. So one day, she's at her apartment. Joshua Maxwell comes by because, quote, someone gave him her address and he was looking for her sister. So some dude shows up at her apartment looking for her sister and just knocks on the door and she's like, who are you? And then he forgets about her sister and they hit it off immediately. So just random guy shows up at your house. It'd be like if some guy was like, hey, is Brittany here? Never mind, who are you?
That is
right. I'd be like,
when
who
was
gave
this?
you my...
What year?
This is around...
Like after 2000?
1998, 2000.
Okay. I'll soak that up. I'll allow it because of the year. But I'd be like... Because people literally... Guess how they got in contact with you? Call your home line or fucking show up.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, we all forget in the fucking 90s, everyone was just fucking showing up.
I know, I read that. I'd be like, fuck her sister for being like, come by my sister's house.
I can't tell you how many times my parents' house... People were there, like, would just come by because they didn't have cell phones.
That's true.
So, like, if you were out and about and you were like, oh, I want to see what Dwayne's doing, they'd come knock on the door. And I'd be like, what is happening? But, wow. Yeah. Okay. I mean, they say love never just comes knocking on your door. I guess it does.
Yeah. And she's 20. Josh was 21. And he had a pretty rugged upbringing. And he was also from outside of Indianapolis. He was abused at home. He would run away a lot just to get away from it. He started getting into trouble with the law from a really young age, like stealing and stuff. So he just turned to the streets, drugs, things like that, tried to numb everything was what his sister said. Now, the videos I saw of him make him seem like kind of a mega douchebag. And I'm going to show you. Okay, that's him.
Okay, and you said he looks like, what'd you say?
He have videos of him like mega douche.
Let me explain as the photo is going to be popping up probably right the fuck now.
Yeah.
The dude, because he is bald and then he wears like these really small wire frame eyeglasses.
Oh, and they're transitions. Sorry.
And he's like, and he's in a wife beater and he has tattoos. So he looks like he would fucking rob you at a street light, but then he's wearing the eyewear of an accountant.
Right.
That really struggles during tax season. So it's very confusing.
Like he was
like, I'm going to look smart. No.
Yeah.
Just weird.
I wrote, in the videos that he looks like he's being a mega douche. Like he's trying to be an extra in 8 Mile. Like the way that he talks. Like he wants to be in that entourage. And it's like, slow your roll. Really. He's like, I'm out here grinding. It's about that life. Like it is so, and he wears a big old chain. It's just not it doesn't fit. It doesn't.
I mean, it kind of fits the package.
Yeah. I don't know.
But it still
Some people do it and I'm like.
There's so many. What you're saying is like, it's so extreme in the way that it's like, no one taught you how to speak that way. You are choosing that because you think it makes you sound hard and cool.
Right.
Everyone else thinks you sound like a fucking idiot.
Right.
Just so you know. No one's telling you. The biggest issue is no one tells people.
No one told him.
No one tells people. You got to, if that's your best friend out there saying these wild things, sound like a fucking ignorant hooligan, you tell him.
Right? Yeah, if I came in here, it's like, I hear grinding it. I
would tell you once and then I would block you. I'd be like, I'm not putting up with this. Your grammar is fucking with my vibes.
Unsubscribe.
Unsubscribe.
Okay. And like when he's saying all these videos and stuff, like, I'm out here grinding, it's not where I'm from, it's where I'm gonna go. Like, yeah, it's that bad. And he literally was like, when I read that he had a tiny bag of weed and he was trying to run around acting like he was like a kingpin drug lord. And it's like, come on. Like, that is probably in the console of Willie Nelson's truck. Like, and you're trying to act like you're kingpin.
Okay, now it feels interesting.
Yeah.
But like a hood guy knocked on her door. First thing I would have thought is attack. If that guy knocked on my door and was asking for my sister and then was interested in me, I'd be like, no.
Well, she said the first thing that they said that it was like, she goes, I hate saying love at first sight because it's cliche. She's like, but we were like magnets. And then they turned to instantly codependent and they were like balls deep, but they were 2021.
Yeah, you can't blame them. And I say that and I'm like, I say that because I'm 37 and I say it as a 37-year-old Brooklyn. Fucking 20-year-old Brooklyn would have been like, give me that street trash. I'm a street sweeper. I'm going to clean it up and bring it home.
Going to sing Nelly.
Is that a song?
Yeah, street sweeper. He says it. He says it in a Nelly song. Man. Okay. So Josh did he was a bad boy, but he used that to his advantage. So apparently he did well he had Riz. Look at that. Jess just gave me the pointing finger of approval. So he did well with women, but he was also very manipulative. When he entered a room, people gravitated towards him. They wanted the
Riz.
They wanted. Can you want Riz?
I don't know.
I like how I look at Jess. Like, is that right, Mom? Is that right? So this 21-year-old wannabe gangster just got out of doing a 2-year prison stint when he showed up at her doorstep. They began dating, and it wasn't long. Shocking. He moved in with her and her son.
Okay.
Yeah. She was still stripping, and he actually encouraged it. Like, he wasn't, like, her family was pissed off about it. He liked it, and his sister said it was one of his turn-ons. First of all, weird. But anyway, she's like, oh, he liked to go, and he liked to watch her dance. And he liked to be there when she was dancing on other men.
Oh, voyeurism.
Yes. Right?
Isn't it? No, wait.
That's when you video people.
That's about... Yeah, that's about... Wait, isn't voyeurism... When you attack, like, wait.
I feel like voyeurism is when you, like, put a camera on the toilet and watch somebody pee or something.
What's the one? How do I Google that? When you
can't wait till you get put on a list.
Watch your spouse have sex with someone else.
Oh my God! I hope Travis looks at your search history. He'd be like, what the fuck is she looking
right? No, he knows me. He'd be like, no, you would end up shooting up a place. What is that called? I'm going to find out, guys.
Okay. So, he goes to the strip club, blah, blah, blah.
Cucking? Cuck chair. Okay, Travis always says it's a cuck chair. Okay, hold on. We're gonna come back to this, your story that's important, but it's called a cuckian, which is like CUCKQUEAN fetish. And Travis always makes jokes in hotels of the rooms and he calls it a cuck chair. And I never got it before. And it's for a husband to watch somebody fuck his wife in the hotel room.
Oh.
Yeah, I was like, I have to know what this is because Travis always makes the joke about the fucking chair, but now I forgot that is why.
Well, he makes the joke and now you just Googled it. So it's like you just opened up a new marriage door.
No. I'm kidding. Yeah, right. I am too crazy.
Yes.
I'm too crazy. Okay, carry on.
Okay. So she's stripping. He likes it, blah, blah. After a few months in May of 2000, they got a rental home in Indianapolis. Now, Josh's stepsister got Tessie a job as a topless dancer at Brad's brass flamingo. Okay, there are 19 things wrong with what I just said.
Mm-hmm.
Josh's stepsister is like, hey, brother's girlfriend, come whip out your titties with me at work. And she's like, at Brad's brass flamingo. Does that mean something?
I'm gonna guess that Brad acts like his dick
It's a flamingo? A pink bird stands on one leg?
It's got a tall neck. She long. Maybe it's got a little curve.
And it's pink. Okay. So they both work there too. And then Josh would go to work there, which is very Alicia Silverstone clueless with Paul Rudd.
Right.
Like, so his sister's titties are out, stepsister.
His stepsister
and his girlfriend. Tits. Yeah. So they're so he goes.
That's weird.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
That's a lot of titties.
Yeah. Well,
I don't want to work with any of my like actual normal people friends if my job is to be naked.
Normal people friends?
Yeah. Like I wouldn't want to. No.
You wouldn't? No?
Nope.
Yeah, no. Okay. Bills piled up though, and they needed more money, so they had to move out of there in early September of 2000. Now, Josh's mom knew someone who needed work done on a rental property in Speedway, Indiana, which is where the Indy 500 is held. So small town, but they have the racetrack. The owner of the house said if he helped it was his grandmother's house, and if he helped fix it up, that they could live there rent free to help him out while he did it, because it didn't need a ton, but they wanted to get it ready for the race so they can rent it out. Apparently, in about 2 weeks, the owner of the house was like, "Dude, you're not working out," and Josh broke some shit in the house, and he went over there
within 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks. Because they're kind of irresponsible.
Got it.
Yeah.
They're young and irresponsible.
Right. And
good thing they're parents.
Like the guy went over there one day and he saw her toddler was running around in a dirty diaper, and they said they couldn't afford to get diapers. So he went to the store and bought him diapers and was trying to help him out.
Yeah.
And then they broke shit, and he was like, it was a couple $100. I wasn't mad, but I was like, dude, I got to get this done. I'm trying to help you.
Right. Like,
give me that money for what you broke.
If I'm doing something nice for you, and I'm obviously like going out of my way to do it. Yeah. And then within the first 2 weeks, you're not even like attempting to hold up your end of the bargain.
And then he fixed it and then broke shit that he fixed.
Right.
And cost the guy money. And he only did it because his mom asked him to. The guy was like, it's my mom. Like I had to. She was like, my friend's son is an ex-con. He needs help. Can you help him? And he was like, sure. So he was like, I'm going to come back. I need you to give me a couple $100. Like, and then he goes back on September 11th, and they had moved out. The next morning, a call came into the Decatur, Indiana township that they were in the area about a car on fire. When the fire department got there, the car was engulfed, and they opened up the trunk, and they found a body in it that was hogtied with wire.
Yeah. This is turning.
Yeah. The person was burned so bad that you couldn't tell the gender or who it was or anything. They ran the plates and then the VIN number from the car, and it was registered to a man named Robbie Bott. Robbie Bott. Like a robot. Oh my God.
Robbie Bott.
I typed like 8 pages of this and didn't even think of that one.
I'm like, all I can think is robot.
Yes. Yes. Robbie Bott was a well-liked FedEx airplane mechanic who was 45 years old, and he lived in Morgan County, Indiana area. So who is Robbie? Yeah. I'm going to show you a picture of him. And why the hell is his car torched? Like, there's him. Just a good old guy.
Oh my gosh, he looks like a nice guy.
Yeah, just a good old cute little smile. So Jess, yes. And they went to Robbie's house 10 miles away from where the car was found, and he wouldn't answer the door. So they go around the back of the door. They got into an unlocked door. They didn't see any signs of forced entry. His house looked like a home invasion had gone wrong, like a tornado went through it. Broken glass, broken furniture. There was some blood drops in the kitchen and a used condom beside the bed. And they're like, what is happening? Investigators thought some activity between more than one person had occurred, and apparently, obviously, sexual nature. Now, Robbie's house is usually immaculate. Like, he's very meticulous.
Oh, he looks like he's got a well-groomed mustachio.
Yeah. Like,
so he's got his shit together. And I think he had a polo on.
Yeah. His house is always clean. It's a nice house. They showed, nice house, and it was wrecked as fuck. They could smell bleach and could tell that someone tried to wipe everything down, like removing the...
But left the condom. The used... All I can think is...
Yes.
DNA condom. You don't need to wipe anything down. if you have left your sploogeness
Your what?
in a fucking your sploogeness in a fucking condom.
Sploogeness.
And then the other DNA, it's going to show the other person. You were like, what's the best way I can do this?
So they wiped down for fingerprints, and they had forgot to wipe down the inside of the refrigerator handle. So they did pull prints off that, but they had to wait to get a warrant and all that stuff. Because this was like, his car was burned. They find a body. It's him. They don't know if it's him in there. Then they go to his house and they're like, okay, he's not here. And what the fuck is all this stuff? September 13th.
Well, he was dead, so of course he wasn't there.
Well, they confirmed, sadly, that the 13th that he was dead. So they were looking for him.
Got
it. They didn't even know if it was a guy in the car. Well, they just knew it was his car.
I would assume, first assumption is somebody's car. Yeah. And there's a dead body that's their body.
Mm-hmm. This is so sad. Robbie had been shot and strangled prior to his body being burned. So again, they're trying to cover their tracks. They did a walkthrough with his family, and then they were notating that there were a lot of things that were missing from his actual house. One neighbor said that they saw 2 people moving things out of his house the day before in a car that they had never seen. Obviously, this made headlines when they found the burning car on the trunk. Meanwhile, on September 14th, the landlord of that property where Tessie and Josh were staying and were ghosted, he went over there, and I failed to mention that he used to be a police officer, by the way. So he went to clean it out because he was like, these fuckers left this house. I need to get this house ready. So after they were gone on the 14th, he goes back to the property.
The guy. The
landlord.
Okay,
yeah.
got it. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And so when he found a man's wallet in the house, guess whose idea it was? Robbie's.
Oh, wow. This is some mastermind criminals.
Right. And he called an old cop friend and he was like, hey, can you give me this guy's, give me his address or number because I found his wallet in here. Like, he didn't know how it got there. And the guy and his friend was like, what's that name again? And he said, Robbie Butt. And he goes, get out of that house right now. It's a crime scene. Get out. And he was like, ah. So he runs out.
Is that what he was like? Ah.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that was like the technical scientific response. That's what he did.
Ran out the door.
That's what he did on Snap. Grown ass man. Eek.
I mean, there's reenactments. He could have been like, ah. That's sound like a fucking bird cawing.
What?
You're like, ah. Like,
what bird makes that noise?
What human makes that noise when they're in the middle of a crime scene?
I just did.
Grown man. Ah. And then just walks out.
Oh, shit. Like, what do you want me to say?
Yes, that.
Just like that?
Okay. Preferred. From now until forever. Yes. Carry on.
So I lost my spot.
So he had just found out that he was in a crime scene, said, ah, and ran out.
That doesn't help me. Okay, there we go. Okay, so the landlord found out that they had dropped Tessie's son off with Josh's mom and said, hey, we'll be back in a few days. Because he's like, well, where did they go then? Why the hell do they have this guy's wallet? So the rental house, it was a nightmare. When the cops got there, they could smell tons of bleach again. There was an actual blood trail, and they show this on one of the shows that I watched. There was a blood trail leading down the steps, and they just took bleach and dumped it. Like they were said it like burned their eyes and noses even to go down there. Down in the basement, they found a wooden wardrobe thing, like that you put clothes in that stands up.
Yeah.
Okay.
A wooden wardrobe.
Yeah. I was like, I don't think I've ever called it that. And then they laid it down. And there was a padlock on the outside of the door. So, like, they had it laid down where the doors opened, like a coffin. And there was blood down the side. There were, like, ropes and wire on it. So you could tell someone had been held captive in there. And the photos are awful. And there's a show that I found. It's called Seduced to Slay, which made me laugh. It gave me a suggestion. And they show all the graphic stuff. And then it'll say like graphic content coming because they show all of the crime scene photos, which a lot of them don't do it as graphic as that. So if you want to watch it, see season 1, episode 4, because that's where all the photos I saw were from. Now, inside that coffin thing, there was a blanket and then a pillow that had bullet holes through it. They also found all the missing items that were missing from Robbie's house in this basement of the rental house. They were only there 2 weeks. So like, murder coffin, guy's wallet, guy's stuff. Yeah. And I saw.
So they had. Okay. So when Robbie died, was his body was obviously found because it was the fire, right?
Yeah.
And they had already moved out. So then how was their stuff there?
Because he was there during. And I'm about to tell you why.
That doesn't make sense.
Okay. Like, I'm going to tell you why it does, but when he came over to ask, the day that the landlord came over to ask for the money is the day that he went missing, officially missing, like publicly missing.
Like couldn't find his truck and him.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But the truck hadn't been found. It was not caught on fire yet.
Right.
Okay.
That was the day before. The truck caught on fire. They left the day before. They found the truck burning that morning, the next morning.
Okay.
I just want to make sure, because if you don't get it, no one's
I'm
gonna get it.
right. I'm like, the timelines are not making sense to me.
Yeah, they bounce a little bit.
I just didn't understand. Like, I thought he wasn't missing, and when his truck caught on fire, they were looking for him. So then there wasn't a missing persons report. Like, no one had said he was missing.
Yeah, they didn't, because it was so quick. They didn't know that he
right.
He was,
but you had just said he was missing that day.
The day that they found it, like he didn't show up for work. He went with them. But they had already moved all the stuff.
And then, so the day that their landlord comes over, they're like, "Hey, dude, you got to pay or leave." That day, at some point, which you're going to tell me, I'm sure, Robbie is taken, and then that night is when the vehicle is found ablaze. Okay.
Yeah. They think that the timelines are a little shaky because they don't know exactly when they all met up, but they know when he died.
But it helps to know that the day that he was,
Yeah.
And so I was like, how the fuck would this shit have been there?
No, it makes sense.
That makes no sense.
They moved like quick too. So I would hope. Yeah. They obviously go and they're like, okay, his shit's here. His blood's here.
Just looking.
His shit's here, his blood's there, and then they're like, well, let's look at his credit cards. They track his credit card usage, and then they try to pull the camera footage, and then in one of the videos, they saw Tessie and Josh like joking around, having fun, and it shows Robbie pushing a cart. He looks terrified. He's literally like walking, and it's a grown man, but that Josh is bigger than him. Yeah. And he's walking like this with his head down, and they're joking and laughing. They're throwing shit in the cart. It looks like he's taking his asshole kids out that he hates on a shopping spree. So he's pushing the cart around in public, and he looks miserable. Like if I saw him, I would hit you and be like, he looks scared. Like he looked scared. And at one point, he looks up when their backs are turned. They're looking at jewelry. He looks up at the camera. He sees it and he goes, "Help me." He mouths, "Help me" to the camera.
Gosh.
It's so sad. The attorney was like, it haunts me to this day because I watched it and I'm like, holy shit. He looks terrified.
I wonder how no one.
Like, no, and there's not. Well,
what do you say? Not my pig, not my farm. I shouldn't be getting into anyone's shit. And it's a grown ass man. And I don't fucking know.
That's why they say that. They're like, well, he was a grown adult, so people just might be like, he's having a bad day. Like,
yeah.
If you saw a kid like that, you would be more inclined to.
And his age and like the girl's age, it could have looked like that could have been his daughter, and he just hates her. I don't know.
Right.
Sad.
So I know, and he didn't have a wife or kids, but they did threaten to go kill his parents. So
weird and stupid.
Yeah.
I'll never understand how you go to a grown adult and threaten to kill their parents.
Yeah.
When it's like, do you even know if they're still alive? Like, I don't understand.
Yeah.
I'd be like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Now, so they're the main suspects and nobody knows where the hell they are. Like Josh and Tessie, main suspects, obviously nobody knows where the fuck they're at. No one.
And they knew that they knew the people.
They had pieced together it. Like,
okay.
And now how do they know Robbie? How do Josh and Tess know? Do you know? I'm going to tell you how they know each other.
Okay.
How they met. Like, so Robbie was he loved women. And his friends were on there saying like, he likes to have casual encounters with women, and he would do that using dating sites from time to time.
Oh, okay.
So he just liked to get his rocks off and have casual sex. He's a grown man. He can do what he wants, right?
I mean, who doesn't do that? He got on dating sites and fucked the people on the dating sites.
Right.
Everyone who is listening right now has done it or has considered it, even though they're probably married and the dating sites came out way after they got married.
Or they know someone who has.
Everyone's done it.
Now, Tessie had a profile on there on the dating site, and in exchange for getting to sleep with her, Josh, there was a stipulation in there that, yeah, you guys can sleep together, but Josh has to be in the room and watch. Like that was the rules.
This is a dating site?
Mm-hmm. It was like they
This
called
is not
it
a dating site.
They called it a dating site,
This-
but they didn't announce. I think for copyright reasons, they wouldn't say which one it was, and I could not find
This
it.
is not a dating site.
Yeah.
If you're on Tinder or Grindr or fucking Plenty of Fish, the trashiest of all of them, if you're going to tell me that on there it says we can bang on the first date, but my boyfriend has to watch.
Oh, I know. It's real
It's
sketch.
not a fucking dating site. That is a fucking site. And it should not be equal to.
Right.
That was a fucking website.
A fucking.
So let's call a spade a motherfucking spade. That's a fucking site. And it's into some kinks.
So, I mean, he liked to watch her strip, so I guess why not watch her fuck? I don't know. But Robbie comes there thinking he just gets to sleep with this 21-year-old. And he's like, well, Josh is going to watch whatever. He can be in the next room, quote unquote.
Can't watch if you're not in the if you're in the next room.
Well, yeah, but
The requirement is the same room, which makes it, how do you even get hard? I have questions in the situation. I don't know how a dude like Robbie, who like looks truly like he holds the door open
he
for
looks
you,
wholesome.
and he wraps Christmas presents and knows how to wrap a good gift. You know he has an ironing board and an iron, and he knows how to get a good fucking crease. Tell me how that dude is gonna stand in a room with hood rat dude,
Right.
looking scary, probably with his dick in his hand in the corner, and just get hard. I just can't. I'm not painting it. I'm not painting it. My brain refuses to
I like how you're like with this.
commute this chapter of the book.
Whenever you say you have your dick in your hand
dick
as a
in my
joke, you
hand.
always go
A big dick,
like
like a.
I
heavy,
know, but you like
but
lean
I,
into
I
it.
do it like I'm holding a small kitten.
No,
Right? Tell me that's not a small kitten in my hand.
Yeah, but like you like it's just funny.
I gotta get in.
You like cup the balls and all.
I'm holding that kitten. I'm trying to grab chapstick out of my back pocket too.
I was like, "Are you trying to itch your?"
And then my right foot went numb. A lot fucking happened, guys. I tucked my foot under there and it got real numb. I'm doing the best I can. And now you're trying to make me paint this picture of weird fucking, and I can't.
Yeah.
The characters don't add up. They don't add up. Poor casting.
Forecasting.
Wonderboy Media is not only the proud producer of this glorious magic imploring your ear holes right now, but they're also a big deal.
Get in touch with them today to make all of your dreams a freaking reality.
From using their bangin' ass podcast studio,
Where we are right now.
to creating amazing videos and editing our content like the mystical mavericks they are.
Your podcast can go further when you have a Wonder Boy.
Hit up Drew today at WBOYmedia.com.
Or text him day or night at 270.
Just kidding.
Okay, so Robbie comes there. He's like, "Oh, cool! I get to fuck this 21-year-old
Yeah.
girl. Whatever. You can sit over there and watch wire rim glasses, wife beater. That's fine." Now, but whenever they fucked right after they got done, Josh jumped him. So
Which is more of the normal outcome I would see.
right, Josh jumped him, and they think that normally they would just rob him, but then they figured out how well off he was financially. He had disposable income, and they were like, "Oh, you're a golden goose. You're not just a rob and like let's take $200 out of your wallet. Let's max you the fuck out and keep this going."
I really feel like they could have, if she would have given a really great performance. Like I'm
know what you
saying,
mean.
right? Like it's the same. Strippers get these great relationships with their customers. Their customers then think that they have a relationship with them.
Right.
It allows them to have a sugar daddy, and then they get that new laptop, that new MacBook Pro, and they go to school and they do whatever their dreams are.
Yeah.
Like he could have been a sugar daddy and not a sugar victim.
I mean, like she did sleep with him, so they could have.
That's what I'm saying. They could have made.
And it was only public after his passing. Like only his close friends knew that he would do this. So that's like the angle to it, as it's not like they were doing this because they didn't think that people would tell anybody that they were meeting with this chick online to go fuck her. Pretty much. They're like, well, they're not going to tell anybody that.
I feel like we have some weirdness in this, in the sense of like, if you're going to tell your friends that I'm going to go fuck somebody and their spouse is going to watch, that's
See, they think
a little fresh. That's a little different. Now, if I was just like, I'm going to go fuck this person I met online, right now everyone would be like, okay,
Yeah.
do you? Did you meet him on Tinder? Or was it Bumble? Or how'd you meet the connection? But like, I'm curious if back then the faux pas was fucking someone from a Craigslist ad. Or if the faux pas was having somebody watch you do it.
I don't know, man.
Because I can't see fucking casually online as being a faux pas.
I mean, right.
That's
yeah.
I'm just curious. Like, what was the issue?
The issue.
What was the issue?
Yeah.
What was it?
I don't know. Maybe he's
and
like,
nobody needs to know that fucking that Oompa Loompa scary guy was in the corner with his kitten.
holding his kitten.
I don't know. Questions. That's what I have. Okay, I'm just curious.
All right. I can't.
If only I could go back to when I was 9 years old and understand the dating scene of online.
Right.
I didn't even know dial-up was happening. Like, what was going on then? Like, this was now the early 2000s.
This is
probably,
2000s,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And what's sad about this is that the investigators were like, if he wasn't so financially well off, that he probably would have survived.
It's like, why am I so good at everything I've listed that I knew he'd be good at?
Right.
Golly.
Now, 1 whole month goes by and they still can't find Tessie or Josh anywhere. Like a whole month. They're like, where the fuck did they go? Take her kid to his mom. And they're like, hey, we'll be back in a couple of days. And then they just fall off the face of the earth for a month. Now, on October 12th in 2000, a girl was walking behind a strip mall in San Antonio, Texas, and called 911 because she found a man's body. He was lying face down. His hands were tied behind his back, and he was gagged, and he had been shot in the head at point blank range and in the body. This was 45-year-old Sergeant Rudy Lopez, and he was a detention officer in Bexar County. Gunshots had been reported the day before, and a silver truck with a man and a woman sitting in it were parked behind a karate dojo there close to where he was found. A few days later, there was a suspicious car that had been left in a mall parking lot in San Antonio, and they ran the plates, and it was connected to the murder of Robbie. So they had reported the car stolen, and they made it all the way to San Antonio. And they were like, hey, do you know who this is? And they're like, holy shit, why are they in Texas? Now, they did some digging on Sergeant Lopez's personal life, and they found out that he was engaged, and his fiance had reported him missing and said his truck was gone. He was always punctual. He didn't come home. But he was also into a little side action as well.
Oh, hell no.
He had answered an ad online. I'm pretty sure that's Craigslist, but they couldn't say it.
An ad online? Okay.
An ad online for sexy time with Tess, just like Robbie had.
Was that the name of it? Or did you just say that?
I just said it.
Oh, my gosh. I was like, so it's a Craigslist sexy time with...
I mean, they probably could have worded it like that because
I'm like, is she being a sex worker?
I don't know if they're saying that money is involved. I just think that they do mention.
Right.
They just mention that it's like a bait and switch. It's like you're gonna come here, he's gonna watch, and then when they get there, he jumps him. So,
okay, I say it, and I'm like, I am of the Tinder era. I've done every way of online dating, trying to find my true gem. And then I found him by him being my neighbor. But so fuck those dating sites. But sometimes they're couples.
Yeah.
Were you of the age of dating sites?
I did use dating sites.
Yeah.
When I moved to Nashville.
Okay.
For a little bit, and I met some.
So it was like the Tinder Plenty of Fish. That was not like Match, not like pay for one.
They were there, but I didn't pay. No.
Yeah, I did. Oh, I paid.
Oh, you did?
Yes. When I went through my divorce in Miami, I 100% paid to try to find someone of class.
How
it did not work. No, but like the Match ones are one thing. The criteria is heavier, but also the people are lamer. I remember just being like, wow, this is a bland spaghetti dinner. I'll continue to eat bland spaghetti dinners for the rest of my life because I'm in a bland spaghetti dinner restaurant. No, and that's the only option on the menu.
No, I want pasta.
Always. But that's why I'm like, there are couples on there that are like, we like to fuck people.
That's what they did. Yep. And
So if you wanna come-
Sergeant Lopez was like, all right, I'm down for that. Let's go do it. So when they go through Rudy's evidence, they see his ATM card had been used twice, and Tess was driving his truck using his ATM card. Didn't even try to hide it. The camera's this close. You can clearly see her face. She's already wanted a suspect in a homicide in Indiana. Now she's in fucking Texas with some missing dude's ATM card. Now, they also checked, I thought this was interesting. I read that they checked Rudy's credit card statements, and they saw Fredericks of Hollywood's on there, the adult store.
You fucking A.
So when they went there and they were talking to the worker, and she was like, oh, I remember him. He came in with a younger couple, and they were laughing and joking and hanging out, and they actually looked happy. Like, it didn't look like Robbie, where he looked like he was a fucking prisoner. Like, he was joking around with them, like, we're about to party. Bought her some lingerie for like $50, and they left. Like, everything seemed fine. But obviously you're going to run out of money at some point. So the cops down there make a public announcement nationwide, because they're like, okay, they're connected now to Texas. We don't know where the fuck these people are at yet again. No one can find them. They ditched his truck. They don't have, like, you know what I mean? Or they ditched their car. They took his truck and left. They can't figure out where the fuck he's going. So they make a nationwide bolo goes out for him and Rudy's truck. And they're not hiding anything. Like you said the whole time. They're leaving evidence. Evidence is literally everywhere. It's just like...
They're connecting all the crimes together into one, leaving one vehicle from one to the other.
Right. Yeah. So their scheme was working, because they just lured a man in with the promise of sex, rob him, and get rid of him when they're done. Now, they don't know how many other victims there could have been between there, because there was a whole month they were missing, because they were under the impression that people might not come forward if they're married or with somebody, or they're embarrassed because the men answered an ad online on Craigslist or whatever to fuck. Like, so they could have gotten away with a lot more, because they didn't have any money. So that's how they were getting it. And on October 17th, 2000, so like 5 or 6 days after they found the sergeant, an officer in San Francisco tries to stop a silver truck from speeding. My gosh. And they won't stop. And he runs the plates real quick, and then he figures out it's those two shitheads. That's Rudy's truck made it all the way to San Francisco from San Antonio. And he's like, oh, fuck it. And so he bolts it, and they start chasing him in a high-speed chase. Josh starts fucking shooting out the window. Like, him and Tess are in the truck. He starts shooting out the window like a banshee, and they start shooting back, because he actually hits the windshield of the cops. They're following him, and they're like, oh, fuck you. And they start shooting back in the middle of San Francisco.
Wow.
He still won't stop. One of the bullets actually hits Tess in the neck and grazes her. But that's the only reason why he stopped. Because Josh had told the old landlord, he was like, I'm never going back to prison. And so he was like, they just assumed that he was going to go until he got shot.
Yeah.
But he stopped because of her. And then so they take him in, and they were both arrested. They took her to the hospital, and she survived. And then they take him in. Now, during the interrogation, Josh is like, he just starts talking. He's like, yep, we did all this. But
he's like, yeah, we did all that.
Oh, exactly. It's so, it was painful. And I watched every interview.
Okay. Text me which one, because I want to watch it so I can get pissed off.
Oh, yeah. You're going to.
Because you know it's going to bother the fuck out of me.
Oh, Will walks through when I was watching it. He goes, what the fuck is that? And
I'm so excited. I'm turning it on tonight.
Yeah. So Josh is in there. He just says everything. But he makes up stories about both murders. So first of all, he says when Tessie was asleep when he killed Robbie, he was like, oh, no, she was asleep. She didn't have anything to do with it.
Why was Robbie spending the night?
I'm like, right? I'm like, what do you mean?
Because all women, the second we have sex with a stranger.
That's right.
It's time for a little nap.
Straight to bed.
My little napperoni and cheese is right there.
Straight to bed.
I'm going to snuggle in.
That's right. Yeah. And I'm like, you didn't wake up when he got shot. So anyway, like, shut up. It made me mad. And then.
Stupid people say stupid things.
Rudy, he goes, oh, well, the sergeant, he tried to attack her. I left him alone, and I went in the other room so they could do their thing. And he tried to attack her when I went in the other room. So Josh tries to say that when Tessie went to sleep with Rudy Lopez, that Rudy tried to attack her, and he heard it, and he runs in and defended her honor. I'm like, no, because
a woman's not going to attack another man.
And I'm
sorry. if you're gonna attack a woman, you're definitely not picking one that has her boyfriend watching the sex act.
Right. He said he was like, no. I stepped out of the room for that one and I heard her scream and I came in. I didn't know I was going to do it. I'm like, you gagged him. You tied his hands behind his back and then you put his shirt over his hand so he couldn't fight you back. That wasn't an impulsive decision. Like, it was the dumbest lie I've ever heard. So it makes no fucking sense. He was like, she didn't have anything to do with it though. It was all me. And in the videos, she doesn't look scared. She's literally like they had a home video camera and they were like videoing while they were on this like crime-free road trip. And it's just them smoking blunts and acting fine. She doesn't look scared. They're joking around. It's like, and then there's literally, they found a video of them with a homemade porn video that they made.
Oh.
After like it's time stamped and it's like 2 hours after Robbie was killed. So like you ain't scared. No. And no, not at all.
And you're like, let's just film this.
Right.
I mean, I'm all for homemade porn.
I mean, whatever, but don't do it if you're going on a murder spree.
But I'm just like, how are you even, like, from the female perspective of in the mood? Like, she just had sex with that other dude too.
Right.
Was her hair wet from taking a shower? We're talking about a dirty pud.
What?
I love saying things I know that will just fuck with you so hard. I just didn't know. That was the second round of party.
God, I'm dead.
Yes.
Okay. Don't say dirty puss. I can't do it. It's the word puss that
I didn't even say puss that time. I said dirty pud.
Pud?
I think I said pud. I didn't say puss.
Oh. Either way.
Either way.
Okay, so I saw an interview with her on the Snapped episode. It's her from jail, Tessie, talking about it. And she was like, I was just under a spell and I was scared. Bitch, no, I'm sorry. No, you may have been young and naive, but you don't look scared at all by any means. Like, you could have gotten away a million fucking times.
She just has to create her Delulu moment.
Right. Look at that. Working that in.
But like, that's all it was, is like, because
Right.
they all do it. Like, you watch all the crime shows.
Yeah.
They create this. And that's why we watched one of the shows and like the woman, the interviewer is like, that's not what happened.
Yeah.
And she'll like fight back and he's like, I don't care. That's what happened. And they're like,
no.
You're
Yeah.
still just lying and you're going to spend the rest of your time in prison.
Right.
You're like, you're stuck in here and you're going to keep fucking lying.
Yeah, whatever narrative you have to tell yourself. I mean,
Whatever.
yeah. But like, she was the bait and she was openly fucking these men. I mean, I'm sure she could have walked away after the first one and been like, oh my God, that went too far.
Right.
Like, I didn't realize, like, not giving her a pass on the first one, but she could have fucking walked away on the first one.
Right.
Or told anyone. Even like the guy that she was living in his house when they skipped town, he used to be a cop. She could have told him when Josh went pee.
Yeah.
Like, hey, can you help me get me out of here? Like, anything. Anyway. And she put her kid in there. Ugh. Okay. So, and then I wrote, oh, in all caps. And then you're guilty as fuck because they found your homemade porn that you made right after you killed somebody.
Good.
Okay. Josh confessed and he showed no remorse at all. Like, he sounded like he was just reading his grocery list to the cop. It was gross. And then after Indiana and Texas police departments, they talked. They chose to try him in Texas first because they have the death penalty.
Good call.
They were like, yeah, but we want justice. They're like, wait, no, you guys you do it. You go first. You go first. After you.
Good call. Way to go, family, to just be like, no, I will sit here.
Right.
And I will keep waiting,
knowing
I'll have to go to court in 2 years and have this all dragged back out and whatever the process is. Go that family for having the patience to get the overall justice as it should be served. You know?
Yeah, because some people, I hate when they get all greedy, like territorial about prosecuting people. Like, everybody wants justice, but this one, they work together and they're like, okay, your outcome's.
I'm also grateful too, because we just had a story recently too, where they went through and did it based off of the hardest evidence.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So it not only did it provide a better verdict in the overall because it took away the reasonable doubt, but it also allowed for additional time for more things to come out to hopefully create more
Oh, I didn't think about that.
evidence on the other end.
Yeah.
Because we sadly know this too. The judicial system, depending on how hard people want to work, they can frame up a story using the word frame up a story however they see fit.
Right.
So if they had additional time to like, they know that person did it, they could probably paint
That's a good
the
point.
picture they wanted.
Yeah, sadly, well, like I said, they weren't trying to fucking cover anything up, but luckily they were like, your punishment's worse.
Yes. Yes.
But yeah, that's a good point. And then Josh goes and he's like, okay, look, don't give her the death penalty. I made her do all of it, which lies.
Lie.
But he's like, don't give her the death penalty. Don't, because they both got charged with capital murder in Texas. Josh went to trial in 2001 and he got the death penalty. After this, they shipped his ass to Indiana anyway, and they made him face charges for Robbie
Good.
Bott. They shipped him back up here, and they were up there, and they were like, look, and he got an additional like 91 years, and they did it just out of spite, like, we're going to give you, like, for emphasis. They put an exclamation point on it. Josh Maxwell was executed in Texas on March 11th of 2010. He gave some kind of
Wow, he wasn't on death row for long.
No, I know. Most of them, I'm like, and then he's still sitting there, and it was like 1980. But no,
right. I'm like, wow.
They're
They're swift with the axe, if you will.
9 years. That's sad that 9 years is swift for death row, but it is. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't want him
Dude,
to do it the
I
next
swear
day.
death row is like 30 years because they try to give you a lot of time to appeal in
Right.
case you
case-
didn't do it.
It ain't true. Yeah.
Right.
This one, they were like, dude, there's too much.
Right.
But I get that. But at the end, I didn't find his death row meal because, I'm nosy and I want to know that. But like his last statement was that something along the lines of, I wasn't the same guy I was 10 years ago. I'm sorry for all the hurt I caused. At least then he apologized. Not that it makes it better, but it's rare that they ever say shit like that.
No, because they still say they didn't do it.
Yeah. And he was
They
like,
will go.
right.
They will go beyond the last fucking thing they say that God will understand that you got the wrong man. And it's like, the fuck.
yeah.
The fuck.
Yeah,
Except for when it actually was the wrong man.
Yeah.
Which
Sadly has happened.
that has happened as well.
It didn't happen in this case, and at least he apologized at some fucking time. Not that it makes it better, but still. In 2002, Tessie didn't go to trial for Rudy Lopez's murder, and she took a plea deal and took life with the possibility of parole in 2040.
Okay, I was like, what, 20? I didn't know what you were going to say.
2014, she's out. Here she comes. Oh, yeah.
Whoa. But no, like just
Yeah.
the statement. That's what I was fucking afraid you were going to say was that she was out.
Yeah, no. And then for Robbie Bott's death, she pled guilty to conspiracy to commit murder and a few other charges, and she got 30 years in Indiana to be served consecutively. So even if she gets paroled, she's going to have to go right back to jail anyway.
Good.
Yeah, straight through jail. What's that TikTok? Directly to jail. Is that right?
I have no
I
idea.
looked at Jess because
I was like, I don't do the TikToks. I got to get
Jess
on
probably
that.
muted us at this point. So, so basically, like I said, even if she's paroled, she's in prison forever. She's on the Snapped episode telling her bullshit. Her grammar's bad, and I can judge her for that because she is
I bet her grammar was good.
Yeah.
I bet her parents raised her with very beautiful grammar.
Yeah, and her pictures were so cute when she was younger.
You can 100% tell that she was raised by good parents. And I say that from one fucking picture because you can.
Yeah.
There's a kindness and a softness in the eyes that means that you weren't kicked when you were 4.
Right.
Which is different to what it sounds like Joshua's upbringing was.
Oh, yeah.
So it's just like I'm sure she was raised to be a good girl. And then it's probably really hard to have proper English when you are with a guy like
right.
he was.
She was so, and then that's what one of the experts was saying on there. They're like, would Josh have committed murder if he had never met her? And they said it's likely.
Yeah.
Because he was already leaning down the bad road. And so it was more probable. For her, no. They didn't think that she would have, like, she wasn't on the straight and narrow by any means, but she got in trouble for check fraud. Like, and then
That's a pretty intense
I mean, it's pretty, yeah, but he was like selling drugs and it was in juvie, and then he just got out of prison again for other things. So like,
I mean, check fraud, like, yeah, I'm sure she wouldn't have committed murder either, but she obviously had no moral compass.
She was
on her.
clean.
No. I'm like, unless she was like, oh, I didn't know you could do that. and like did something stupid because she was ignorant.
Right.
But it's kind of hard to just like fuck around with check fraud.
Yeah. I couldn't fuck around with check. I don't even know how to write a check anymore, I don't think.
I don't know that you ever did know how to write a check, but which I understand. I don't, but I'm just curious on that one. Because, I mean, I'm sure you're right. Murder is very extreme, but there's this whole concept whenever you're falling in love with somebody and how your brain chemistry is changing. And as you're going through that whole journey of you two, you literally believe that it's you two against the world.
Yeah. And
like nothing matters as long as what's happening in our home is of good sound, whatever the fuck. Not like in our minds, it's like a safe space, good communication, healthy meals, that kind of shit. They're probably just like, it doesn't fucking matter as long as I have Josh. And it looks like these slowly getting to this more intense kind of, oh, I'll have my titties out. And oh, now I'm a stripper. And now I'm basically a sex worker.
Yeah.
And now we murder people and rob them. It's like, what?
Yeah.
An evolution.
Some people, Some people are talking about how I've never seen the movie Natural Born Killers. And I guess that's a similar plot line that they just go on a crime spree throughout the country. Like they just don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
That's what they were saying. They didn't even, the only thing they tried to do was pour bleach and wipe down fingerprints.
Right.
But they stole things and left it behind and then killed the guy and left the state. And then there's more stuff to it too. Like when they went to San Antonio and they met with, they went with aliases. So Josh he had a lot of girlfriends before her, and he stole his ex-girlfriend Trina or something like that. I can't remember her name. Anyway, he stole her ID. They go down there as Trina and Mo. He was his friend Mo. Trina kind of looks like Tessie. So she goes and they rent a room from this dude down here. They show up, they're like, we're going to stay for a couple weeks. And they're like, sure, okay. That's how they connected him to Rudy, was because Rudy had called that guy that they were renting his room in Texas. Rudy had answered the ad and called the phone and called Tessie back. And she was using the guy's, like she was staying in his house. Calls his phone, calls Rudy from that guy's phone. Rudy called the phone back. And then so when they tracked him to that guy's house that they were staying at, he's like, I haven't seen Trina and Mo for a couple weeks, but some guy named Rudy had called a couple days ago. And then that's how they connected him at the beginning before they found the car. Was they had aliases when they went down there because she looked similar to somebody. She had even applied, like that Trina girl had applied to be a stripper. So when they compared the two, she's like, oh no, that's my ex-boyfriend. He stole my ID.
when you're dating when you're dating a dude who then steals your ID
for future use
when he can find a skank that looks like you and then goes on a killing spree.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, because they were like, oh, maybe
and then he just stole his friend's fucking ID. What dumpster fires?
Yeah, and then that's when, because he was like, I don't know, they met some guy on a Craigslist ad, and the guy, he let him live in his house for a couple weeks, this dude did, and he had answered an ad.
Y'all stop answering ads.
So they
answering ads.
So he answered the Bonin ad, and they were like, can we stay here? And he's like, sure, Trina.
So the Bonin ad is a dating site? Or
they kept saying
Craigslist?
Dating site, but in Texas, they said online advertisement. So
that's sex.
Yeah.
That's an online sex advertisement.
So he went
totally different.
So that one, yeah. And on Robbie's case, they said it was like an actual site. In Texas, it was an ad.
Interesting.
And they couldn't say that. It's like when you can't say Super Bowl, you say the big game.
Yeah.
It was like they're But yeah, so the guy answered an ad. He slept with who he thought was Trina. And then her and her boyfriend moved into his house for a couple weeks.
I also couldn't even wrap my head around if like Travis was like, hey, use this of my ex's fucking ID. I'd be like, the fuck. If I had to sit here and have my husband call me by his ex-wife's name, like you just stop and realize that's what the fuck that is. That's Will looking at you right now and calling you by his ex-wife's name. No.
Yeah.
There's a lot of crazy shit going on there.
It's a lot, and like it could be a movie. Like I had to watch the thing.
I'm sure it
times.
is because it's wild.
And I know it's kind of confusing the way that it's laid out, but hopefully it's like you got the juice
Yes.
of the story. Because I was
Right.
like, I know
Very
this is going to be
wild.
hard to follow along, but like they're fucking 20 and 21. She
Crazy.
throws her whole life away, kills this poor guy who just wanted to bang it out. And then they go saying there's somebody else. They kill. And then the cops think that they killed Sergeant Lopez because he was going along with it. Here,
Yeah.
take my money. I'm hanging out. But they think they figured out, like, because they found his badge in his truck. So they think they were like, oh shit, you're a cop.
Well,
And
I
they got
mean, they also
scared.
just took him to, like, the evidence is only, what, a sex store?
Yeah. And then, like,
So
his
he wouldn't
ATM.
be upset. Yeah, like, and he probably was paying her for it.
Yeah, I mean,
So going to buy sexy lingerie and that, it's totally different if you're at a grocery store and they're like, or at a store and they're buying all this food and jewelry. You said they were looking at
Yeah.
the jewelry. I'm like, what store were they in there? Like,
it looked like
it seems like a whole different environment of just going to get lingerie and maybe an ATM because I'm going to pay this person for having sex versus everything that probably happened to Robbie before. that.
right. And they think that they panicked because he was like, I'm engaged and I'm a cop. And they're like, oh, that's.
I doubt that he would ever tell somebody that he was engaged
Yeah.
if he's cheating. That
Yeah.
only makes it
And
way
his
worse for
poor
him.
fiance was on there and she was like, she's still like, I still love him. I still have his photos up and I think about him all the time. And I was like, I don't want to talk ill about the dead, but it's like, it's hard to, I don't know if I would have agreed to be on this documentary. I think it'd be very hard for me to do.
It would be a hard thing to come to
All
terms
around.
with for sure.
All around. And that is the sad story of the murders of Robbie Bott and Sergeant Rudy Lopez by stupid Tessie McFarland and Joshua Maxwell.
That's a wild ass story.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers.
Motherfuckers.
Stupid motherfuckers.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, thank you guys so much for listening.
Yes.
We appreciate you. Don't forget to like, rate, review, subscribe. Check us out on Patreon, Cameo, all of the shameless plugs because you can get more sass with a little cash. So toss that shit our way. We love you guys so much. Don't forget, don't get mad.
Get sassy.
We love you.
We love you. Bye.
Bye.
This episode was sponsored, edited, and produced by Wonderboy Media. Get the deets at WBOYmedia.com to see how you can make your podcast dreams a reality.
Help us out and be sure to rate, review, and subscribe wherever you listen to our audio project. Don't forget, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at, of course, A Couple of Sassholes.
Want more sass? Become a member of our Patreon for bonus content, merch, and more. Plus, we're on Cameo now, so there's even more ways to get the sass you need just how you like it. As always, don't get mad.
Get sassy.
Theodore, can I pet that dog?